So welcome to the third draft, a bit of a different subject this time. We are doing chain restaurants or predominantly fast food restaurants. As we sort of mentioned, most of these are shame meals. So the categories that we have for this one are burger, pizza, chicken, sandwich, dine-in restaurants, and sweet. And then you have 2 flex spots to fill with any of those. So we decided to do the draft order based on oldest to youngest for this one. So it will go Tyrell, then Kevin, then myself, then Preston. So I guess we'll start straight into it and hand the floor to Tyrell.
Awesome. Sounds great, guys. All right. So I just had to make sure that my place was actually national, which there are apparently 42 restaurants in the United States. But it's also global. I am going with my first pick, which is a chicken restaurant called Nando's. Now, if you guys do not know what Nando's is, it is a place where you get the best chicken of your freaking life. And I'm not even joking. The sauce itself is impeccable. The restaurant is always really weird. And then, there's actually a very funny meme out there about people walking into the bathroom. It's completely different music, and they're jamming in the bathroom. Really funny. We'll check that out. But Nando's chicken, to me, is possibly one of the best chicken places I've ever had. Every time I go to England, I get it. As I just found out, it started off in South Africa in St. Johannesburg. Is that how you say it?
Johannesburg, yeah.
Johannesburg, in 1987, which was somebody's birthday, close to that, I believe. But yeah, there you go. Nando's chicken is my number one pick.
Yeah, I mean, I had that pretty high up in my chicken list because it's pretty much the biggest chicken restaurant in the UK. There's 1,000 stores, I think, worldwide, and I think 350 of them are in the UK. So, yeah, it's delicious if you guys ever get across the UK. Or there's a bunch in Maryland. Yeah. I think there's one in Chicago, I think.
Yeah, yep. You got 12 in Illinois, one in Maryland, and no, actually a bunch in Maryland and a bunch in Virginia.
Yeah.
So
that's good. Right. I mean, it's a very strong pick. So yeah, Preston.
No, it's Kevin. Kevin's up. I'm not.
Oh, Kevin's. Oh yeah, sorry.
All right, so initially I thought this was just favorite eating places, but once you said shame eating, that changed my list a little bit. So I'm gonna go with the Powerhouse, just because shame eating, yeah, man, I eat there way more than I'd like to admit to people. I think that you can play with the menu enough, you can eat some weird stuff, and still. You can order a McBear, or as some people call it, McGangbang, or whatever. There's just so many options. You can pound chicken nuggets until your heart's content. I'm going with McDonald's, man. My number one pick is McDonald's for burger places. It's McDonald's. If we're going shame eating, I'm always gonna go McDonald's. Leaving the bar kind of drunk. Uber driver's oh, you going straight home? Nah, man, go to McDonald's. Let's go. I need a McChicken, 100%, yo, every time. So yeah, more McD's.
It is I think it's kind of the Rocky of this draft, based on our previous ones. 69 million customers served daily is generally their amount of people they serve across the world. So yeah, it's definitely the big powerhouse. So good pick. I'm going to go completely kind of off course because I feel like the options in this category are relatively limited. So I'm going to go to the sweet section, and I'm going to go Dunkin' Donuts, because I feel like it is a place which people use every day. Obviously, their main thing, and they've started really with donuts and coffee, and particularly, I think in the Northeast, I think they're one of the only places, particularly in this country, that gives Starbucks a bit of a run for the money and stuff. So, yeah, I think it's pretty much the biggest out of all of the sweet restaurants on my list. I'm sure that you guys probably have maybe some little more regional places, but I think it's the biggest one that I could come up with. So, yeah. Dunkin' Donuts is the pick.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I came in front with that. I mean, I love Dunkin' Donuts, and for me, I would never thought about that. I mean, because I was going through my list this morning when I woke up, because I do that kind of weird stuff, and for my sweet places, I have a bunch of ice cream places, and that's literally it.
That's
And-
pretty much all of my other places are ice cream, I think.
Yeah, so good. So good shot on that. Actually, I just thought of Cake Shop. So you guys are in trouble. Are fictional places allowed? Can I say Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory?
No,
No.
no.
Definitely not.
That's a chocolate factory. It's not a dine-in restaurant.
Or a takeout.
Take those kids out.
All right, Preston. So you're gonna have back-to-back picks.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. See, when we talked about shame meals, I just wouldn't be able to pick a place, even if it's like so large, and I'd go there often, if it's really not something I would prefer if given the option. So I'm gonna go completely wild card here, and I'm going with a dine-in restaurant that is located, and I know of at least 2 states, although it is quite limited. And I'm going out to the Midwest, and I'm going Portillo's #1. That's where I'm going. Portillo's, if you haven't been out to the Chicago area, definitely check that place out. It's also down in Arizona, and I believe they're making their way to a couple other states down south. But Portillo's is #1. Nobody's stealing that one from me.
I've never heard of it.
It's trash.
That's not true. That's just not true. You're not telling the truth right now.
I like Uncle Nick's.
Man.
All right. I wasn't letting that one get away, especially because for
That
me,
might be the biggest reach we've had in 3 drafts.
Not if you've been there and you know what you're talking about. Tyrell doesn't. Anyway, for my second pick, I'm going back to the burger section since Kevin already took McDonald's off the board. I'm going Five Guys Burgers and Fries.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
I know why people like it. I find it overrated. Like I remember for the first time, somebody was like, "Oh, let's go to Five Guys." So I came sure. They came back with this fucking bag of chips, excuse my language, with this bag of fries. I'm like, dude, why? What is this? And I thought it was. I mean, I don't like thick up fries anyway, but that to me was just not very good to me. But I get why you chose it.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's actually I think one of the newer ones out of all of the burger places, 1986, and it's considered the fastest growing of all fast food chains. It's 1,500 stores open worldwide with 1,500 more in development, which is pretty crazy amounts of growth. But yeah, because a bunch of the burger places are flying, and I don't want to miss out on this pick because it's my favorite of the American burger chains, and if I can go there and secretly kind of go there without my wife knowing, then I will. And I love a Baconator, so Wendy's is my choice. A Baconator with a side of the spicy nuggets, unreal. So Wendy's is my choice.
Real quick, I just want to say, notice how he said without my wife noticing, and then immediately looked off camera to see if his wife was
That's good you said right there. But yeah, I mean, certainly like in America, I think it's one of the bigger ones. It's like 7,000 stores, and so it's pretty big. But so back to you, Kevin.
All right. First, I want to say good choice. Wendy's was actually, before we said these were shame meals, Wendy's was my top pick. I love Wendy's. I always go to Wendy's. If Wendy's is closed, then I go to McDonald's. But Wendy's is amazing. I think that their burgers, for the price that you're getting them, some of the best burgers in America. So because Preston didn't pick this place is why I'm picking it. I've only had it once because of a trip Preston demanded. But I think this sandwich place, one of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my life. I'm picking Wawa over. That's my sandwich place. That's my number 2 pick. I love Wawa. Yo, I'm down to drive 5 hours again just to have a sandwich from Wawa. Like, y'all have no clue. Sandwiches, fun fact, favorite food as a latchkey kid. Like, that's, my mother always made sure that the fridge was packed with sandwich meat and bread and lettuce and mayo so I could make a sandwich every day I got home from school. And yo, Preston hyped up Wawa, and usually people hype stuff up. I'm the guy who's like, yeah, this is all right. But yo, Wawa was amazing. I remember sitting at Jay's counter at 3 a.m, stuffing my face full of that sandwich. Like, yo, this is the best sandwich I've had in a minute. So yes, Wawa's.
So because again, this is a place which I've never heard of. Where is this based?
Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia area.
Okay.
Yes. Just around that Mason-Dixon line. There are a bunch of restaurants in that area, a little bit more south than the Mason-Dixon, and it's amazing. Yo, honestly, Sky, if you ever go to like Pennsylvania and you see a Wawa, just stop and get a sandwich. Like, it's life-changing. Like, and for real, like, it's one of the best sandwiches I've had, straight up.
And my favorite part about Wawa is it's also a gas station, and I've like sacrificed. I might break down on the highway because I know there's a Wawa up here, and I want to get a sandwich. So I'm not getting gas at this closer place. I'm going to keep it going, hoping I can get the sandwich and gas at the same time. It's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So Tyrell, to you, 2 picks in a row.
2 picks in a row. Okay, but there's been a very crazy development that just happened. My mom just fell for the up dog trick.
What's up, dog?
Did she text you or did she put it on the actual status?
On the actual status. Okay. So I'm gonna go with my burger pick. To me, it rivals that of many of y'all choices. My favorite burger place that I've been to is Whataburger. It was, what was that face for? Okay, Whataburger down in Texas. It just got bought out. Now it's up in Illinois now as well, which is kind of pathetic because it is what it is. If you guys ever had the opportunity to get Whataburger, it is seriously so flipping good. They got some of the best fries, some of the best burger mixes. The bread tastes like something like a genie made it with some unicorn tears.
Okay.
Whataburger was kind of like what Kevin said. It's a place that the first time I went to Texas, people were hyping it up, saying, "Oh, you got to go to this place." And I'm similar to what Kevin said. I'm the kind of person who would go and be like, "Yeah, it was okay," but when I went there, it was on point. Good pick.
Okay, and now I'm gonna choose my pizza place next as my other pick. Now, again, this is pure shame, and I'm not even happy about it. Okay, because I hate myself. I really, 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 really like the hot wings from Pizza Hut, and also their pizza. For some reason, it just hits in a certain way, and I could eat that for probably a good 2 meals a day if I needed to. So Pizza Hut is my pizza place. National, it's fantastic. I know it's a bit different in the UK where it's a restaurant. It was a proper sit-down restaurant, much like our Applebee's and Chili's type style of stuff. Correct? But
it's got a lot more of a feel of like almost like an Olive Garden kind of feel, where it's trying to be kind of an Italian restaurant. I used to, in case any of you didn't know, I used to be a manager in a Pizza Hut in the UK. But actually, it's the largest of the pizza chains. Has nearly 18,500 locations. So it's definitely kind of the biggest of the lot. And I think it's got quite a big following here with regards to kind of like on football Sundays and that kind of stuff. I think for the the boxes that they do with the wings and the pizza and the garlic sticks, I think, or something like that. So, but yeah, pretty decent choice. Kevin.
All right, it's me again. So this round, I think I'm actually gonna go chicken. I'm gonna go chicken. All right, so this one's really personal because of where I work. I work on a street, and there's like nothing really where like you can go like grab food. It's like a Korean restaurant, Thai restaurant, and then like Popeye's chicken. And those are the only 3 places I can go. And I find myself going to Popeye's chicken on certain days just because of the deals they have and stuff like that. So my next pick is Popeye's because, I eat that like 3 times a week, man. Like, I'm like always at Popeye's. It's not the chicken sandwich. I just love the chicken. And when you order Cajun fries, you get like 2 pieces of chicken, right? And then the Cajun fries, they'll put it like basically put like a little thing in the bag, like a little like cardboard boat, and then they'll just dump fries into the bag, like just like 3 spoonfuls of fries. So I'm like, and to me, that's a great value for my dollar. It gets me from midway through my day all the way to the end of my day. By the time I get home, I'm hungry enough to eat again, but I'm not so hungry that it's been paining me for 3 hours. So, I'm gonna go with Popeye's chicken as my chicken pick, and my third pick just because I love Popeyes, man, and I've loved Popeyes for a while. And yes, I do love other chicken places, Bojangles, Church's Chicken. I've had them all; they're great. But Popeyes has had my back since I started this job, so I'm going Popeyes, man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I actually have, interestingly enough, in my chicken section, I have pretty much about 4 or 5 places that I pretty much had all ranked evenly because I feel like they all have something that's pretty good with them. So Popeyes was up there. Obviously, it's not the biggest out of the lot, but it's pretty tasty. I haven't had it a lot because round near where camp is, where we used to live, there isn't one within, I don't know, it's probably not within 30 minutes of it. So, but because if we're starting the run on, KFC is going to be my chicken choice. And the reason for that being is because in the UK, really, the only kind of true chain we have as with regards to kind of fried chicken is KFC. We don't have Popeyes, you don't have Chick-fil-A, those kind of ones. So, it's the second largest fast food chain in the world after McDonald's, over 22,000 locations. And, Colonel Sanders, it's I kind of love the story of Colonel Sanders, of how he sort of started selling fried chicken on the side of the road during the Great Depression, and obviously blew up into this whole thing and was like a mastermind of kind of he branded himself as Colonel Sanders, and I think he's probably one of the most famous kind of faces that you could see on like a product, like of a true kind of like the face of a product. So yeah, KFC is my choice. So Preston.
Yeah. Before you continue, I will say this: the KFC in the UK is some of the worst chicken I've ever had in my entire life. It is so bad.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
I'm not saying it's truly the best of the fried chicken places, but I think if I didn't get McDonald's, so I'm going to go with the powerhouse in my chicken section.
That's what you gotta do.
All right, so since the chicken section's closing up pretty quick, I don't want anybody to take this as a flex. So I'm gonna go with the next obvious one, Chick-fil-A. That was, one of their go-tos is the chicken sandwich. But I'm gonna throw you a loop. Next time you go there and you get fries, get a packet of ketchup. It's one of the only places I've ever been to where their packets of ketchup are something you can dip something in. I don't know why everybody on the planet doesn't do it that way. They make it so you can squeeze it. It makes no sense.
Can I interject?
Do you got another
Wendy's does it. Wendy's does that. Wendy's gives you a little tub of ketchup, and you can either like pull the front off and squirt, or you can pull the back off and dip. So
thank you, Wendy's, for stepping your game up, but Scott took them already. So I'm going with Chick-fil-A for my chicken section.
Yeah, I mean, for the chicken section, it's actually the most profitable fast food chain on a per item basis. And yeah, very profitable, but with, shall we say, in draft terms, some serious off the field issues. So that's the only thing that marked it down for me.
Fair.
Same.
All right.
So back to you.
Yep, back to me. So I'm going to go over to the sandwich section, and I'm going to take the sandwich powerhouse. Not my favorite place, but never seems to let me down. I'm going Subway for my sandwich section. And
nice.
They are heavily looked down upon ever since their former spokesperson got into some issues. So I guess character doesn't matter for me in this draft, but I'm going Subway.
Yeah, I mean, I found it in Bridgeport, which is, obviously pretty local for you guys anyway. But it's in 100 countries. So again, it's one of the most Universal, and it's truly like the powerhouse of the sandwich section. I will go to the sandwiches next, and I'm going to go with, again, not my particularly favorite of sandwich places, and I very rarely would eat there because I feel it's a little pretentious. I feel it's trying to be something it's not, but I'm going to go with Panera. But yeah, 2,000 locations, again, probably in comparison to a lot of the ones on the list, it's a little bit newer, but yeah, it's feel like it's a good choice.
Yeah, that's actually a very good shout. Only mainly because for me, Panera, like you said, it's a bit pretentious. To me, Panera bread is like what Starbucks is to Dunkin' Donuts. You could go to a sandwich shop and get something the same thing, exact same sandwich, but it's about $20 more expensive for your full meal.
Right.
You know, so on top of that, you have to order a bit special, like toast on the side, a bit of too much extra stuff for me. But yeah, good shout.
All right, Kevin.
And before we continue, again, as someone whose favorite food are sandwiches, I'll say that yes, Panera is very pretentious, but they almost have a reason to be. I've gotten Panera sandwiches and then touched them up with like a little bit of hot sauce, oil and vinegar, and they've been still some of the best sandwiches I've had. So I think it's a really good pick, only because I always tweak a sandwich. Like I'll buy a sandwich and I'll tweak it a little bit and I'll, add some stuff, maybe take some stuff off. So no, I don't think Panera is that bad in the sense of being pretentious, just because if you play with it a little bit, phenomenal sandwich every time I've had it, straight up. So I just wanted to say that. Not saying I'm a sandwich expert, but I love sandwiches. So my next pick, what am I going? I'm going pizza. No, I'm gonna go dine-in. All right, I'm gonna go dine-in, and my favorite dine-in restaurant. I'm a little biased, as some people here may know. I used to work for this company, but I think that their dine-in food is some of the best food. I'm gonna go Ruby Tuesday. I think they have some great food, and it makes me kind of sad because they're struggling a bit right now. I know they're closing restaurants en masse, but they're so good. Like, I think a lot of their food is great. I think their burgers are great. Ribs are great. Shrimp dishes are great. Some of their pasta dishes are even pretty good. But I started working there and I hated them beforehand. And then someone offered me a job. They were like, yo, like, just come and apply. And I applied, worked there for a few years and ate the food. And I was like, yo, this is actually really good food. And I've loved Ruby Tuesday since. So, but yeah, I'm a fan of Ruby Tuesday. So my dine-in option is going to be Ruby Tuesday. I think they're great. If you've never had Ruby Tuesday, but you live in an area with Ruby Tuesday, go or order food right now, because what we're going through, coronavirus, got a social distance. Order the food. It's phenomenal. It's actually really good, especially for basically manufactured food that you're getting from, a chain. But I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily have it on my list. I sort of looked at it, and I have about 6 or 7 dine-in places that I personally prefer. But yeah, it is a shame when you see a place like that that's struggling. And obviously, the vibe I get, because they started opening them in the UK, and then they opened them, and within about 6 months, they all shut. I think they tried to maybe expand too quickly. But yeah, interesting pick, that one. Tyrell, 2 picks for you.
Yeah, man, no problem. Kevin, I will say this: I prefer my place better because I think it's better drinks. But I'll go with my next pick. I'll go with the next pick with that one. I want to keep you in suspense. But just to stay on task with disappointed that's closing down all over the freaking place. One of my favorite sandwich shops. Okay, that was national, and then it slowly started disappearing. And mind you, again, it's not everybody's little creepy little alien thing. Goes in the commercials. Quiznos subs.
Yes,
dude. Quiznos subs. The I don't know what it was. Their ovens baked their bread so well, and then they got that nice crisp on them after they got baked. What, bro? It was so freaking good. And then they just went downhill. Like the company just went downhill. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if like they just started closing over the place. I was actually just reading an article about like how the great American shops such as Radio Shack, Caldor's, Kmart, all those old shops are closing down, and Quiznos is part of that, that mark. Now I don't know if that's because Walmart and Subway and all that kind of stuff, but it sucks.
Now,
I don't know why.
correct me if I'm wrong, but
Oh,
you
go
guys weren't around the Patterson area when Quiznos was there, were you?
I was, yeah.
You were, okay.
I was not.
I went about twice a week.
Good, because I used to go there way too much as well.
Yeah, I don't know why for a second I thought you were going to go Arby's for a second, but so your next pick, I'm presuming, is a dine-in restaurant.
Yes, it will be. Now, I'm quite sure Scott knows this. I lived on camp I know for a fact he knows this. I lived on camp for about 10, 11 years, and I would constantly go to Applebee's once a week, sit down at the bar, get my drink or two, eat my very delicious, the three cheese mac and cheese with a nice chicken tenders meal, and leave. It was a set thing every single day, at least once a week. Their drink specials are fantastic. Their football specials are fantastic. So Applebee's is my dine-in take.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we often like to go sit there and sit at the bar, and it's usually always got some pretty good views of some TVs. Actually, based on what I was looking at, from what I could find, it looks like it's actually one of the dine-in restaurants that's like a big chain that has the biggest kind of revenue in a year. It's nearly $4 billion that it has as a yearly revenue. So yeah, nearly 1,800 locations, and so of these kind of dine-in chains, I would say it's one of the kind of the powerhouses of that bracket. So yeah, good pick. So back to you, Kevin.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys a great story about me and Tyrell here. A few years ago, Tyrell was spending the weekend in Connecticut, and I had to drive him back home. We were going to go buy Street Fighter 4 because we thought that we could get it early. So we were flying down to Poughkeepsie. As we're driving to Poughkeepsie, we both see there you go. We both see a sign that says Sonic next exit. And we yelled so loud and got so hyped, I almost fainted while driving my car. And the both of us went to, honestly, Sonic is the next on my list. I'm taking it as a flex pick. I love Sonic. It's not the feel. It's not the car hops, skating to your car. It's none of that. The food is just really good. Like, it's actually really good fast food. It's a really good burger, and it's, the drinks are good. Like, everything about Sonic is good. So I'm picking Sonic as my next pick. It's my first flex pick. I think Sonic is wonderful, and again, I love it so much that I almost fainted and killed myself and my best friend.
No, I mean, look, I like it as a pick. I think I like it for different reasons to you guys. I like it for that stuff because, I grew up as a Brit watching a lot of American TV and movies and seeing the kind of the waitresses on skates and the kind of very American kind of feel to it. And that's the thing I really love about Sonic. But what I didn't actually know before kind of looking into a few of these places was that it's actually owned by Inspire Brands, which also owns Arby's and Buffalo Wild Wings. So it's one big company that owns a whole load of these chains. So yeah, quite an interesting one. But yeah,
that's also disappointing to hear.
Right? Yeah, it's an odd one, but it's yeah. I think a lot of these big companies are taking over loads of these chains in mass. So for me, right, I'm going to go with my pizza pick before they all start flying off. And for me, I'm going to go with what I consider in the UK, it's kind of the pizza of choice, honestly, if you're doing kind of like a delivery pizza, because we're not blessed like the northeast of America that has loads of really good independent pizza places. So our biggest place and the place people would get excited to order from is Domino's. And, I think it's so from my understanding, it's the largest seller of pizza in the world. So in that sense, it is definitely the true powerhouse of the pizza bracket. And I will happily admit that I am a pizza snob, but my shame meal in the UK is quite often a Domino's. So yes, that's my choice, and I stand by it.
Listen, that's a great pick. Anybody who's ever like had to count their quarters and see how much money they could scramble to get a meal has gotten Domino's and has had no shame with it. So I love the pick. I was actually looking at that for my next one, but I'm gonna copy Kevin here, and I'm gonna go with my flex pick. Unfortunately, we don't have a category for this place to begin with, but I think it's the only place that people would really want to go pick for anyways. And in honor of Taco Tuesday tomorrow, I'm going Taco Bell. You got to go to Taco Bell, especially if you've had a late night. Come on now. Taco Bell is my flex pick.
That was actually going to be my next pick because it is so fantastic. It's one of those late nights. My girlfriend, on the other hand, she'll get Taco Bell if I yell to her right now, babe, let's go Taco Bell for dinner. There's no way she's gonna say no to that. Even the line is out the wazoo right now. I believe like in smaller towns and in various other states, Taco Bell and KFC are often in the same in the same building / gas station. And because that's one of those restaurants that's owned by the same like parents company, I guess.
Yeah. Say that again.
Taco Bell and Pizza Hut are. Is it Pizza Hut or KFC? KFC.
Yeah, I don't know if anymore, but they used to be owned by PepsiCo, but I'm not sure if they're still owned by them. But yeah, I mean, like I say, a lot of these places. Taco Bell was going to be my next pick too. It was going to be my flex pick, but it was my top rank to the flex picks. I will admit that I have only eaten Taco Bell maybe 2 or 3 times because it's just, again, we don't have them around near camp. And yeah, I've never really eaten there that many times, but every time I've had it, I have enjoyed it. So my flex pick then, because you stole Taco Bell, my next ranked, and I wasn't sure.
I gotta get my second one.
Oh, you got 2. My bad.
That's okay. All right.
It's not going to be my one anyway.
Probably not. Let's see. I got to fill my pizza spot. I actually was talking to...
And your dessert. You've got to fill your dessert as well.
And my dessert, but I don't think anybody's going to take my dessert, so I think I'm okay there. For my pizza place, though, only because Kevin and I were just talking about this place yesterday, and I don't know if he actually heard someone else say it. I'm going with, and I've heard multiple pronunciations of it, so I'm going with mine. I'm going with Sbarro's Pizza.
I thought you were on CC's.
No, Sbarro's. You can take CC's. I'm going Sbarro's because if you've ever gone to the mall and you had any indecision on what you should get, as soon as you see Sbarro's, it's a fail-safe pizza place. Sbarro's is the pick.
All right.
Whatever floats your boat. I mean, there's probably 2 other pizza places I would probably choose over it, but I get it. I've definitely eaten Sbarro's in the
nationally.
Nationally, there are definitely 2 that I think are better, but
all right,
no judgment here. So my pick then is going to be my flex because honestly, I wasn't quite sure whether this fell as dine-in or as chicken. So I will put it in my flex, and it is one of my favorite places to eat, and it's Buffalo Wild Wings. I just think you honestly just can't go wrong with it. They have so many options, and yeah, I mean, who doesn't love really great wings? And yeah, I like I say, I think it was just one of those things where on my list I was kind of like looking at it right now, and I'm kind of going, where else could I go? What else would I kind of rank? One of the things I really loved about this when I was kind of looking into it was that it was founded by these 2 guys that had gone to a Kent State University game, and after the game they wanted some Buffalo style wings and couldn't find anywhere in the local area, so they decided to open a wing restaurant so that they could eat after football games. And then once they started expanding, they basically opened wing restaurants where they wanted wing restaurants. So like they opened one right where they go skiing every time they go skiing in Colorado, and expanded so that they had wing restaurants in places where they wanted to go. I just thought that was really cool because I just feel like that's a real kind of baller move to just be like, yeah, there's no really good wings here, so I'm just going to open a wing restaurant right here, even though I'm only here for 1 month of the year, maybe. So, but yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I that was gonna be my dine-in because I mean, but you know, I didn't choose because of the drinks.
All right, so Kevin, you have to fill your pizza, your suite, and one flex spot.
So here's the thing: I'm not worried about my pizza. I'm not worried about my flex. So I'm gonna pizza or suite. I'm going my flex next. But before I do that, I want to say I love Buffalo Wild Wings. I just wish they would sauce their wings better. I always get the spicy garlic joints, and every time I get them, there's just whole chunks of that wing that aren't sauced. This makes me kind of mad. So I love Buffalo Wild Wings. I love the taste. I love everything about Buffalo Wild Wings. Me and Tyrell probably gonna eat that tomorrow, but it makes me kind of sad they don't sauce their wings just a little bit more completely. But no, phenomenal wings.
I mean, I would
Great
take them
wings.
for their onion rings alone. Their onion rings with that sauce is just unreal.
Those fried mushrooms, oh my God, every time. Straight up. All right. So I'm taking my next flex pick because, again, I'm not worried about my sweet pick or my pizza pick. So my next flex pick is, every time this place drops a specialty burger or any kind of like, hey, we're doing the indie Whopper or we're doing this, I'm all about Burger King. I love Burger King. So my next flex pick is Burger King because I think they do these very specific burgers for like movie releases that like, I straight up love so much. The Shrek, it was like the Shrek sourdough Whopper, amazing. The Indiana Jones indie Whopper, amazing. Like every time, like I go to what's the name? I go to Burger King. It's just those burgers are amazing, man. Like I love Whoppers, especially when they do like kind of like a theme Whopper, like a Cajun Whopper, or whatever. So my next pick is Burger King. I think that while they're barely a step below McDonald's, they're phenomenal every time. So yeah.
I see. I mean, I have very mixed feelings. I think when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of options in the UK of like kind of American fast food, and we had a Burger King, and I loved getting a bacon double cheeseburger from there. But now that I'm a bit older, I think it's considerably worse than like Wendy's. I don't know why. I just think it's nowhere near that level. But one thing I found really sort of crazy about this was that they have nearly 18,000 stores worldwide, and about half of them are in America. And 99.7% of the stores are privately owned, which is kind of really crazy to me. So pretty much all franchised, privately owned stores. So, but yeah, although I am kind of surprised they kind of made it to this point and they're still on the board. So, because they are one of the big names. But Tyrell, 2 picks from you, and you have sweet and 2 flexes.
Damn right I do. Just like me. I'm sweet and I flex twice. Quick thing about about Burger King. When I used to live in Waterbury, I used to there's I call it the unholy trinity of you had the Burger King in the corner, you had the Wendy's across the street, and the McDonald's a bit further down the road. Okay, and this is so fat I would still be if I were there. I would get the fries from McDonald's. I'll go to Burger King for their burgers, and then I'll go to Wendy's for their Frosties. And and it was a very expensive meal, but it was a very delicious meal. It was well worth my time. Anyway, moving on. So I am going to go with my sweet, and I am I am very lactose intolerant. And if I go to this place after B-Dubs, I have probably a 15-minute timer on Cold Stone. Cold Stone, they have a huge amount of delicious flavors to choose from. It is the pretentious pick out of that and Carvel. But Carvel, to me, I've seen too many roaches in Carvels, so I tend to avoid. Yeah, I tend to avoid those. Most Carvels are in the hood. That's probably why, to be honest with you. Yeah, so Cold Stone is my sweet pick, and then I will go to one of my flex picks, and this pick was almost my chicken pick, but I decided not to do it because I knew none of you guys would really go there unless you've been to places such as Pennsylvania, Georgia, or Texas. Church's Chicken. Church's Chicken is one of those places where they make some bomb chicken, bro. And every single time you get Church's Chicken, they always give you a little, they call it a pepperoni pepper in your box. Okay, and you can squeeze over your chicken. That chicken has to be steroid juiced because those you get legs the size of like a normal thigh, and then like the thighs are the size of the box. Like they go, here goes your food, sir. The person's struggling with the bag in their hands, and they drop it like an anvil into your lap, and it's amazing. So Church's Chicken as my chicken spot. I don't know if you guys have been there. Kevin's face says yes. Everybody else's face says no.
I have not been there. All right, so Kevin, you have your sweet and your pizza.
All right. So the next two are going to make people kind of look at me kind of funny. And I'm completely okay with that. It's just these are regional. One's a regional pick. One is just, let me explain. So when I was younger, full disclosure, may have dabbled in the green a little bit when I was like in my early 20s. I get it. You know, it's a little controversial, but here's the thing. Whenever I was in that state and I needed any kind of a snack, there was one place that was A, always open, and B, had the same like best snacks. So my sweet pick is 7-Eleven. Yo, 7-Eleven was phenomenal. I learned, legit, I learned how to pop lock in a 7-Eleven. I learned how to dance in a 7-Eleven because I was like grabbing snacks with a friend of mine, long
Does
live
that count?
my man Christian.
Yes, see, that's the store. That's like that's a true convenience store.
It's a store. Slushies.
It's a convenience store.
Slushies.
You could also get toilet paper there.
Wait. Hear me out. 7-Eleven also has their own theme stuff as well. So it has its own sandwich. I almost chose it as a flex sandwich shop because it has the pick and mix like you guys have in the UK, Scott. The pick and mix where pick your three. That's all it is. It's almost it's a glorified deli that it's everywhere. The slushies are everywhere. Okay, it is a national food sponsor of the NFL, I believe.
But it was always whenever I needed sweet food, candy, chocolates, all that stuff, I would go to 7-Eleven. Like that was my spot. I would go to 7-Eleven, grab candy, grab whatever, chocolates, a slushie, ice cream, and I would like go back and just binge eat. Did that beer came out of nowhere? Like what?
I think we need to, in our results, put like a tiny little marker next to 7-Eleven, the same way we did for me and Aquaman.
I'm very torn because
it's not a restaurant,
but it's not a restaurant.
But it's where I went to get all my sweets. Anytime I got sweets, I would go to 7-Eleven. Even to this day, like
so, you're putting this down as your sweet place.
Yes, candy. Chocolate,
see, if this was a flex, I could probably be like, yeah, I get it. But I don't think it's not even its first thing is a sweet.
I mean, I can change my.
What? Yeah, no, it is, dude. The slushie. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. That's my thing. Slushies. Slushies is like the reason that I'm.
Okay.
You just I'm going to argue sandwich place.
I am going to be a devil's advocate. And also, Press is getting for this. Wawa's is not actually a sandwich shop either or anything like that. Wawa's is, in fact, a convenience store, much like 7-Eleven is. So, I mean, it's one of those things of like,
All right.
What is it known for? If someone had made that argument before, I'd be fine, but they are known for sandwiches. 7-Eleven's not known for their sweets. They're known for their convenience.
They're slushies, bro.
Okay,
What?
you know what?
Well, do you know what?
This is your
can
call.
Pick another place. I
Fine.
can pick another place. It's fine. I just think the 7-Eleven sweet places are like very limited, and I just think that like 7-Eleven is not a bad place because again, back in my early 20s, that's where I would go. We would just like hop in the car, go to 7-Eleven. We'd walk in giggling and just grab a bunch of candy.
But okay, but you're selling it then.
You can do that at Target.
I could do that at I could do that at Dollar Tree. I mean, I could go and get like
At 2 a.m.
packs of candy.
At 2 a.m.
In the hood, you can. I mean, Dallas never closes. Bro.
I'll pick another. I will pick another place if that makes everybody happy. I will pick another place, my sweets place. But
Is that gonna be your flex?
no, it's still gonna be a sweet place.
He's already got
flex.
Sonic and Burger King in his flex, so
Pick another sweet place.
I
don't care.
I am gonna go if we're putting it down as 7-Eleven, I think you have to define you've got to then clearly define it as it's for its slushies and not for anything else. Because that's the true item because if it's for candy, which is like it's selling M&Ms, that's not their product and it's not what they're known for. It's not their specific item that they're known for. Slushies I can get on board with, but for candy, definitely not.
There's also
Right,
donuts as well.
But I'll pull out, and I will then change my sweet place to Dairy Queen.
Great choice.
That's even
a good
stronger.
choice.
Why would you? Why would you even do that? That's a better choice.
I love 7-Eleven more than Dairy Queen.
Because you're stupid.
Dairy Queen, if that makes sense. Oh my God, Tyrell, I'm your best friend. That hurt a little bit, but yeah, I love Dairy Queen. I love Dairy Queen. I do love Dairy Queen. I love like everything Dairy Queen has. Blizzards, ice cream. I love Dairy Queen. The reason I went 7-Eleven first is because I interact with 7-Eleven more. So I thought that it would be appropriate, but since everyone's telling me that no, it's inappropriate, then I'm going with Dairy Queen.
Which is
They're making a Dairy Queen in Waterbury.
We just got one. I love it. We
Yeah.
just got one.
I haven't
and I
been
think
there. Is it
Dairy
open?
Queen's a better pick.
All right, my
It is-
apologies. Sorry,
it is a
everybody.
superior pick in every single way. You're
Sorry,
just dumb.
everybody.
All right, so I have a dine-in and a flex, and I'm torn between a few places. I'm probably going to fill my flex and my dine-in with my flex will be a dine-in too. So I'm going to start with Applebee's is gone, right? So I will go with the next option because I do enjoy their ribs and the song that goes with it. I'm going to go Chili's. I do genuinely think they have really great ribs there, and I think they are somewhat comparable to Applebee's and have a lot of things on par with them. They're obviously pretty much kind of copycats of each other, I think. But yeah, around actually about the same amount of locations and quite similar amounts of revenue. So yeah, Chili's will be my pick, and I will put that in my dine-in restaurant.
Good choice. I think Chili's is slept on quite a bit. They also do, much like B-Dubs, I think their onion rings are freaking great. As is their chips and salsa, which is kind of suspect because all those restaurants do chips and salsa, but theirs is a bit more tastier. The only thing they don't have are to me are the good drink specials. So,
Yeah, I really like Chili's as well. They got some delicious sauces on their chicken tenders, so good pick.
All right, so Preston, wrap it up with a sweet and a flex.
All right, so I had a place in mind for my sweets when we first started, and then right off the bat, Scott threw me a curveball when he picked Dunkin' Donuts, and I said, "Ooh, I wonder if anybody's going to pick this place," and nobody did. So I'm going to have to change it up. I'm going to switch it. I'm going Krispy Kreme with my sweets. Surprised nobody went there after you said Dunkin' Donuts. So I'm going Krispy Kreme. If you go to Mohegan Sun, you're probably leaving with a huge box of Krispy Kremes. Let's be serious. More than you need.
can't afford it.
Man, Krispy Kremes are expensive though.
True. All right. And then for my last flex spot, I'm going to go with I'm torn between two places. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. It was one of the more affordable burger joints because they sell them in small scale. So good they made multiple movies about them. I'm going to go with White Castle.
Oh,
Disgusting. You are sickening.
Trash.
Dude, are you kidding me?
What?
That is like that
you can get like 6 burgers for like $5.
yes.
Yeah,
Because do you want colon cancer afterwards?
Yeah. Listen, we're not talking about vegan options here. We're talking about shame meals. I'll go with White Castle.
And that is a true shame meal, like
That's
beyond.
Yeah.
So I have one flex spot left. There's kind of a few options here. I feel. What does Kevin have left? You have pizza, and I wouldn't go pizza. So Tyrell has a flex. Do you know where you're going, Tyrell?
I do know where I'm going, yes.
Okay, so I'm torn between about 2 or 3 different places, and I think I will go with the place which on my list I think is my favorite out of them. I don't think it's necessarily a big name, but it is a very fast-growing restaurant, and it is popping up all over the place. It's actually in 49 states, and I didn't actually know that it was in a whole load of Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia and places like that, which is weird. And I'm going to go Texas Roadhouse.
Oh.
Because
okay.
I think it's a really good steak, and I just enjoy it. And those rolls that they serve at the beginning with that like cinnamon butter, I could eat 10 of those easy. Not to mention the peanuts too that they give you.
Man. Yeah, fantastic pick. I did not know about that. I thought Texas Roadhouse was just like a
it was on like they have ones in like in Bahrain and like the United Arab Emirates, and I was like, this is weird. I didn't realize they were in a bunch of countries. I also didn't realize they would be in 49 states. So, but Kevin, you have your pizza spot to fill. So where are you going with that one?
So yes, my pizza spot is my last pick. Question: does gas station pizza count if it's in multiple states, more than 2? Does that like you can't knock me? You know, it's in multiple spots in multiple states. Come on.
Is it what they're known for?
No, it's a gas station. But it's the pizza that I get all the time. Come on.
Is it BJ's?
No, it's not BJ's.
I know what you're saying, and I'm going to because we were already talking about this. Listen, we did, and the reason why I'm going to allow it is because Barstool Sports did a review on their pizza.
So I went here. So yes,
you gotta accept it.
My favorite garbage pizza. Here's the thing. All right, I live in the northeast of the United States of America. We have some of the best pizza in the world. I live in a state where we have some of the best pizza in America. So it's hard to lower my standards to be like, yo, I'll eat this pizza. But the pizza I'm going to go with is Cumberland Farms Pizza, which is gas station pizza that, again, sometimes I'm kind of drunk and the Uber driver's like, where you want to go? And I'm like, yo, go to a Cumbies, man. I'm trying to get a pizza. So it's disgusting, but it's edible, when I've had a few. So I'm going Cumbies, man. I'm going Cumbies. Cumbies, pepperoni, slightly overcooked pizza on like a Saturday night. That's my pizza pick.
We know who's coming in last place this one because that's trash.
It's disgusting. It's gross. It's the worst pizza, but it's the pizza that I picked.
Listen, we did define this as a shame meal. I'm good.
Little Caesars?
I thought you were gonna go Cece's.
Little Caesars or Papa John's? I mean, like
Papa John's is disgusting. And I used to be a Papa John's fan. No, thank you.
No. So, do I have the last pick of the draft?
You do, and it's a flex
Mr.
spot.
Irrelevant.
Mr. Relevant. Okay, well, since I'm irrelevant, I would like to say this before we kick off, and I blow you guys' mind with this pick. This beer right here, Red Bridge gluten-free beer, right there at the camera, is actually the best tasting beer that tastes like actual beer. And I'm glad that Honest Dad found it by accident because he just buys random like gluten-free shit. Anyway, so check it out if you guys are gluten-free. I'm not getting paid for this. If I am getting paid for this, then I will like it.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. So for my flex pick, I'm not too sure this even exists in Waterbury anymore, but I've had very fond memories of my 34-year-old self and much further back than 34 years. I'm 34 right now. Of at least once a weekend, my grandmother would go to Lee's Chicken, and we would get this. Are you kidding me? That is better than your trash pizza. We'll go to Lee's Chicken and get the spicy meal, the legs meal, all that kind of stuff. So Lee's Chicken to me has sentimental value. It's not fucking freaking good. It's not good at all, but it has sentimental value, and I am all about the sentiment value at the last pick because I'm Mr. Relevant.
Okay,
that's not bad.
I really want to say really quickly, the chicken from Lee's was phenomenal. But if you hung out at Lee's long enough, you would basically see like a rat in a uniform, like just straight up be like, "You having a good day?" Like it was just look. Lee's was great tasting, but it was not a sanitary restaurant, dude. Like I love you. 100%.
Oh no. But let's be honest here, okay? How many bodegas and shops and little hole in the wall places you guys go to, okay? And you go, man, that place was not cleaned up, but that food was fucking banging, okay? It happens.
Basically, every shop in Hartford is like that.
That's what I'm saying. We went to the Pueblo Viejo. We're singing a happy birthday song in Spanish, and a roach comes off the plate, like. A live roach walks off the plate, and we cheer the roach on. You want to hear the worst part after that?
The wait just grabbed it.
The worst part was we still ate the flan afterwards. We didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of wrap it up, there was some pretty big names left off, I would say, mainly in the dine-in category. But in the burger section, no one took In-N-Out Burger, which obviously is a little bit more, sort of a West Coast thing, but very popular. Carl Jr., no one took that. Another good choice. Pizza section, Papa John's and Little Caesars are probably the biggest names that were left off. Whether they're good pizzas or not is irrelevant. Sandwiches, no Arby's, Jersey Mike's, Jimmy John's. They're kind of the big names, I would say, probably in that section. But dine-in, you've got Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Cheesecake Factory, TGI Fridays, all those kind of big names that no one took. And I'm going to wrap it up with a kind of an interesting story of TGI Fridays because I just found this one quite funny. So firstly, in the UK, TGI Fridays was considered, particularly for someone who didn't grow up with a lot of money, a pretty nice restaurant. And we used to go there for birthdays because that was like a big deal to go to TGI's for your birthday. But founded in New York City, and it was originally opened by a guy called Alan Stillman on the East Side. And he opened it as a bar to basically try and pick up air stewardesses and waitresses and models that lived in the local area. And that's how it started, trying to pick up women. And then it just blew up into a big thing, then became a restaurant, and then obviously became multinational company. So, but I just thought that was a pretty interesting story. Go on, Gav.
Really quickly about TGI or not TGI, rather. In-N-Out and Carl Jr.'s. So In-N-Out, great, phenomenal the first time you get to LA, and then it just kind of degrades over time. And then with Carl Jr.'s sucks. Carl Jr.'s and Hardee's, not that great, man. I promise you, you think they like sound phenomenal. If you go to the areas where those two restaurants are and you have that, you're going to be like, oh, this is no. Like I've had it so many times, like Carl Jr.'s and Hardee's are not that great. So Personally
Fun
speaking.
fact: Kevin's not correct right now at all. Hardee's is very
What?
good. So just
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Sir.
Isn't Hardee's just isn't Hardee's just West Coast Arby's?
It's Carl
no
Jr.
Hardy.
It's the
No,
same
Carl's
restaurant.
Jr. is West Coast Hardee's. It's the same. Yeah, they're the same restaurant, but they just have the same thing. Hardee's is pretty good. It's okay.
It's not.
All right. Well, we'll have some discussions about what we're going to draft next. I'm probably thinking maybe something along a music kind of theme. But it's been a pleasure. It's interesting to get some insight into everybody's trash and shame meals, whether you admit that you enjoy them or not. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, and we'll do another one again either later this week or next week.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Good. Have a good one.